Hello there. I just want to do a little talk, and as you can see, this is a talk about artificial intelligence. I just felt a video about this topic is important because this is the point of COVID-19. This is the whole point of the pandemic. This is the whole point of this whole situation. And I predicted it before this happened. I said that this would happen. Something like this would happen. I said that they wanted to separate people using the social distancing, exactly how I predicted it. Basically, I didn't know how it would happen, but I knew that this global awakening would force a lockdown. I even said that word, lockdown. They want to lock humanity down, and that they were going to do something to separate us because they don't want you talking to people that have had these spiritual awakenings. Right? The whole idea. See, China is the blueprint for the rest of the world. And I first heard this from David Icke. And it is true, China is the blueprint for the rest of the world. And this picture here is a picture of children. They wear these headbands. And these electronic headbands can tell, when the class is over, they can tell the teacher who's paying attention and who isn't paying attention to the programming, and this is the kind of idea, and this is the kind of world that they want to bring about for your children, for the new children, the new babies coming into the planet. So if you care for life, then nobody would ever say, if they give a shit about children, that this is a good thing, because anyone with half a brain can see that what's going on here. And we can see that the people that do the research on this stuff can see that the way China is, they're trying to push this in the direction of China. But because they've told us all along that we're free, they can't really force it like China would. We've got to do it gradually. And gradually they're censoring and taking our freedoms away bit by bit. And that's what's really going on here. And people are reacting and protesting because they can see there's something wrong here. But that's where they want to take the rest of the world. And the people that say things like this is a good thing, they obviously don't give a shit about humanity. They don't care about their health. They don't care about the children's health either. I do these talks because I care because I realise that I am on this planet, as everyone is, to make a great contribution as best I can. And I use the internet and I try to make the best contribution that I can. And that's why I've got a website now. My website is www.lovelightfamily.com. And that's where I put all my blogs. This video, I'll try and get that up there as well. It will be in the section about artificial intelligence. And yeah, this is very, very important. The system, you got to remember, artificial intelligence is who controls artificial intelligence? Well, the scientists that control it, and them scientists work for the system, right? And the system is not separate governments. That's obvious to see because, this idea about the system being one thing was just a conspiracy theory, but we can all see now that it is all one, just masquerading as separate governments. But when you go deeper and deeper and deeper, you actually realise that there's connections, there's actually bloodlines that I'm not still sure about. I haven't done too much research on this, but I've done enough to actually see that there's actually bloodlines, bankers and certain bloodlines that control everything. And these bloodlines control everything, and therefore the governments are actually just puppets for this control grid. And that's what the smart grid is. It's a control grid from this control and bloodlines that control the world, you see. And this is an example, this control grid is an example of how the system really operates. So it's actually letting us see, but the reason they've got to do this is because of the global awakening. That's why they've got to do this. But this is where they want to take everything. China is the blueprint for the rest of the world. If you want to know where they want to take us, look at China. And I've only looked at China a few times, I must admit, and I've been shocked. But I'm going to continue doing research on China and their artificial intelligence and their 5G and what's happening there, so I get more insight into it. But yeah, it's true. You know, I had a lady this evening say to me that connect. You know, having your brain connected to artificial intelligence is a good thing, and basically saying that. And obviously, this lady hadn't thought it through, because you know, even Ray Kurzweil from Google said that the point is so that artificial intelligence becomes the human mind. And what that means you know, actually is that it means that AI will control human perception. A bit like someone that looks at their iPad or iPhone all day. You know, they're only getting that information, but we get outside information as well. But if you connect the human brain to AI, then all thoughts will be from the smart AI grid. And that's the idea. So there's mass censorship then. That's the point, and they're even saying that. You know, Ray Kurzweil says this openly, but he talks about it openly. You see, and you know, because you know these people actually, you know, even Bill Gates said that, you know, a good vaccine can down the population by 15%. You know, and so it's there for everyone to see. Everyone can see where this is going. But I think we've got denial. I think for many years people have just, oh, it's a conspiracy theory, but now it's in our faces the way things are going, and the people that are wearing the mask, the people that are clapping for the NHS, those are the people that are still hanging on to the system, that are still afraid. A bit like the Matrix movie when Morpheus says to Neo that these people aren't ready to leave the system, you know? And that's kind of like what we're dealing with. We've got people that are waking up, people that are spiritually waking up, and we've got people who are sheeple, who are and the sheeple just want to hide behind the shepherd. They don't want to do anything for themselves, right? Because they're not strong individuals. And this global awakening is this pandemic is showing us the way people are. It's showing us the people that are strong. It's showing us the people that are independent. It's showing us the people that are weak. It's really giving the system insight on that as well. Um, but yeah, that's where they want to take humanity. They want to take it where China's going. Remember, America is in competition with China, right? And Britain really kiss the arses of America, and they really do whatever America does. That's really what goes on. If you look at, like, I'm from Britain, if you look at Britain and the way it operates, it just copies America. It kisses the arse of America because America's so powerful they don't want to fall out with them. That's the situation in Britain. And it's understandable that they're like that. You know, you don't want to fall out with America. But America is in competition with China, and it's all about getting everything towards China. So it's one system, because it's one system that runs the world anyway. David Icke talks about it for years and years and was laughed at for talking about reptilians that don't operate on this reality, but a close by dimension, and that they are in bloodlines with certain people in the world and that they control the world. Remember, the Prime Minister can't become Prime Minister until the Queen asks him to be Prime Minister. That's the way it works. So these bloodlines control everything. You know, the elites, the money, the bankers, that really controls everything. This whole thing that's going on just now is about suppressing everybody into what David Icke calls the Hunger Games society, where we're dependent on the system. It's, you know, and that's what they're trying to do because of, like I say, this global awakening. They don't want an awakening because awakening means freedom. The system doesn't want freedom. The system really wants control, and what it wants most of all is fear, because this demonic force that is doing this feeds off of fear. That's what the game is all about. But the problem is there's only so long that people will be afraid until they wake up from the fear. That's the problem, and that's why this demonic force, what their lifespan isn't long lasting. It's very short lived, because people, when you put them in fear, they wake up from it, like I say, and that's where this is going. We're all waking up, and so there is actually nothing to fear. There's actually nothing to fear, but we still have to be proactive, right? Instead of reactive. We're reactive to the fear, but we've got to be proactive in terms of acting against this artificial intelligence and the censorship. Because if we don't, we can go in the way of awakening, and we are, but we can also go in the road of stupidity. And that is accepting whatever the system downloads onto us. And that isn't intelligent behavior. It's stupidity to do that. It's stupidity to just accept things without questioning it. It's stupidity to do that, wearing a mask when you don't do when these people that wear the masks don't do the research on what a mask actually does. The face masks you wear are actually surgical masks, and when you wear them, you breathe in your toxic things that you've breathed out. So it's not good for you. But a lot of people don't do the research on this, you see. I do my research on things. And that's why I know about certain things. But yeah, that's where they want to take humanity. Back to the China thing. China is the blueprint for the rest of the world. And that's where they want to take, that's where this bloodlines, whoever runs the world, I'm not sure on it totally yet. I still need to do more research on this. But I've worked out a little bit these bloodlines, and it is true that these bloodlines are trying to control the world, because it all leads to this demonic force. I'm not going to say reptilians, but I'm just going to say a dark demonic force that is, because everything's energy, and this energy is trying to feed off the fear. But remember, if a demonic force goes to a planet, it needs the fear to live, because love kills it. Love and harmony kills demonic forces. And it's so it only has so long before we wake up anyway. But like I say, we can wake up or we can go the other way. So it's a choice. We've got to be proactive in this and realize, like this picture here, do you really want children end up like this? And what are you going to say to the children of the world in like 20, 30 years time if this ends up like this? What are you going to say? That you sat down, you just accepted it? Or are you going to say that are you going to be proud of the fact that you stood up for what you believed in and stood up against this mass censorship? Because we need to do this, not for ourselves, but for the new children coming into the planet. We need to try and make this the best possible planet for the future generations. That is the purpose of us all being here. We are all here for that purpose of making this planet the best place it can be for the future children coming on this planet. That's our job. We all have a soul mission on whatever planet we are on. And that's our soul mission on this planet, is to make the planet a safe place. Not a China dictatorship, but to make it a free world. Because the soldiers that have died for our freedom deserve that. Out of respect, we owe that to them. And we owe it to the children of the world also. Those children could be people from past lives that took part in these wars. Even if they're not, they deserve to come to a free world, with free thought, with free expression. Because freedom is love. And that's what everyone deserves to. Every child, every baby deserves to come to a world of love. And that grows you the best it can grow you. So it's everyone's responsibility to be proactive in this global awakening. And I'm just going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you.